Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to Emsley Lodge for another week. Doing the video a day early this week. We've got a really busy morning this morning, and we've got races early and tomorrow. So we just thought we'd get the video done today, and so everybody can see the runners we have tomorrow at Echuca. Okay, runners this week. We'll kick off tomorrow all the way up at Echuca. A couple of really interesting horses having a run up there. A little filly called Little Miss Gutsaa. She showed us a heap last time in. Don't know if I made a mistake trying to get her, stretch her out to... I always thought she's probably a miler. She was always, running time on the training track, and she just gave me the attitude she wanted a mile, but I don't know if it run it or not. So we're going to give her a chance to sprint this time in, and maybe just keep it to the 11 and 1200 metres. So she's had a nice trial a month or so ago, a couple of nice gallops through the week, and she's ready to go. So nice horse. She's well above maiden grade. A couple of nice horses in the race, so she won't be all beer and skittles, but I think she'll be pretty hard to beat up there. She's going well. Horse having his first start called Lucamour. Really interesting horse. He's still, I know he's a 4-year-old, but he's still really young in the head, and sort of he doesn't really focus all that much. And I'd probably like to put a set of blinkers on him, but I just don't think he's ready for it. So a little bit of depth in that race. A couple of really nice horses in his race. So he's probably it'd be great if he could run 3rd or 4th or something up there, earn some prize money. Then we sort of stretch him out to probably 14, maybe up to a mile, and then throw some blinkers on him. Probably 3rd up. I think he'll probably improve. But both those maidens are pretty good. Then we have to hang around all day till the last, and two sort of nice enough horses in there. One called Make It Count. Absolutely struggling to find a race for this horse. I'd like to find a nice little 1100 metre race somewhere for him, but there's just absolutely nothing around other than if I want to run him on the synthetic, which I sort of don't want to. He probably hasn't got the legs to sort of cope with synthetic racing, or let him run in a 58, and he carries 64 kilos. So I'm going to have to take him up there. 1200 is not ideal for me second up. I'd like to maybe prefer to go to an 1100, but what it is what it is. So probably, I don't know, he might just land a little bit closer than I normally would think he would. We'll just have to play it by ear, but he seems to be going good. Changed his training up a bit, and he certainly looks really well. Young DOURO. He's had a couple of runs in, he's coming off a big injury. I just reckon at Geelong he sort of showed us a glimpse of his old form. He sort of had a tough run, was wide, was never in the race, but I still thought I loved the way he was really stretching out to the line, putting his head right out and really trying. So half draw a gate this week and sort of put him into the race a bit better. I think he can make up 4 or 5 lengths pretty quick. If he does that, he can probably run a place on Thursday. So, and then after that, I think he's going to be around about the mark. Coming off a big injury, that horse, in a long spell, and they normally do take 3 or 4 runs to come up, and that's sort of, he's probably just 1 run short, Okay, Saturday, we'll head up to Warracknabeal. I've got 2 horses that are really keen to sort of get them back on the grass. If this track is rain affected at Warracknabeal, I won't be taking them. I ran them both. This is a horse called TOFFEE Nuts and a horse called Loyal CONSUL. I ran them both on wet tracks their first start in a race, and they performed really poorly. We then got them onto the synthetic track, onto the firmer going, and both of them jumped out of the ground and improved significantly. So at the end of the day, the synthetic racing ends very soon, so I want to get them on the grass and see how they're going. So a little bit suck it and see. But both horses are coming off placings like their last start, and really keen to sort of take them. TOFFEE Nuts has kept training on. Interesting horse. He was pretty slow a month ago, and we've done a heap of little short, sharp work with him. He's had a couple of race starts now, and he's really switched on. So keen to get him to the races. Loyal CONSUL's a really difficult horse. I've taken some tough horses to the races before, and he's right up there. He's a naughty boy at the races, and he takes a couple of strappers. But anyway, we'll see how they go. But yeah, both those, it needs to be on a firm going, or a good track, or it might be a slow 5 or something, that's fine. But if it's a heavy rain affected track, I won't be taking them. Prince Ziggy was great last week at Moonee Valley. He's sort of around about the mark in that Saturday grade Ziggy without sort of winning. And I had him nominated for this Saturday at Caulfield, and there's only 6 or it might be 7 runners in the race. So I've accepted with him there on a quick backup. I'll just see how the race pans out and how he is. I'll probably give him a gallop in the morning. If he works up really well, we might even contemplate backing him up. There's a really nice race in Adelaide for him in 3 weeks' time that I want to make sure we get him to. So I've got a bit of a room up my sleeve to take my time. If I don't want to run him this week, I don't have to. But you're going around for 130, 140,000 or something in a horse that's fit and healthy and well. You're only going to give him a gallop here on the Saturday. So if Ziggy's bouncing off the walls on Friday, he might go around. If I think there's hesitation at all, we'll wait and we'll go to Adelaide with him in a couple of weeks. Okay, on Monday we'll head up to Benalla. I've got Grandma Gail was a really good thing beaten last week up at Wodonga, and she's bounced through that run really well. Probably as sound as we've ever had her. She's going well. Craig Robertson came and galloped her this morning, and he said he can't believe that she's not winning races. She's going that well. So there's a really nice little 1100 metre race at Benalla. She got jumped out the other day and just got squeezed out the back and was sort of 2 or 3 lengths behind them, then went via the Cape and wasn't beaten all that far. So just a bit of fair luck in running. She should be around about the mark again. That's Grandma Gail at Benalla on Monday. Okay, Tuesday, head off to Ballarat. I think it might be the last synthetic meeting. Got a horse called Come Along Jeffrey. Now, Jeffrey was trained by a trainer at Ballarat and has done a fair bit of trialling on the synthetic previously to him coming here, and he's trialled up pretty good on it, so I know he'll go well there. I need to get this horse to the races. He's been a bit of a trick of a horse to train, but I think he's turned the corner and I think we've got him going pretty good. So Jeffrey will have his first start for us at Tuesday at Ballarat. Filly called Solar Flash, its form reads pretty ordinary. It's only run on wet tracks for me, and it just hasn't been letting down at all. So I'm going to give it a try on the synthetic and see how it goes. I'm sick of work riders coming back telling me how far it's going to win by, and then it goes to the races and gets beaten 6 lengths. So I'm going to put a tongue tie on it and see if that's the little jockey who rode it the other day. He reckons it was a little bit average in the wind, so I'll try a tongue tie on it and see if that helps it, but get it on top of the ground. But a little bit, it's going to be 1,000,000 to 1 and probably deserves to on its form, but take it on board that its track work's really good, and there's something not quite going right with it. So I'll get it to 1,500 metres, which should suit. On top of the ground should suit. Tongue tie will cancel any problems out there, and it's down in 58 grade, so I've got no excuses if it doesn't fire on Tuesday.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week's horse, a horse called Little Miss Gutsaa. Gutsaa is actually a card game the owners play. We all sort of tossed our heads when we first heard the name, but that's a little bit of an explanation on why she's called Little Miss Gutsaa. She was really good for us last time in. She was really consistent. Her form, was always sort of around the mark, and that's sort of how her track work is. She's always a horse that's worked up pretty sharply, and she certainly takes that to the races. I think tomorrow the 1100 will be that little bit short, but pretty strong race actually tomorrow. We thought we'd go up to Echuca and get maybe not as strong a field as what she's contested in her early career, but. You can't know where to hide in Victoria at the moment, coming in the middle of the spring. So that's where she'll kick off her campaign over 1100. I think sort of second, third up, we'll probably see her best runs. I think she's a filly that can put multiple wins together in the right race. She's certainly come back a little bit more of a furnished mare this time in, but body shape's a little bit more stronger. She sort of gallops up a lot more, keener and a lot more controlled sort of gallop. So yeah, it's really good to see, because I think the ability's there with her. It's just getting the best out of her.
Yeah, that's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. Busy week this week. A couple of really nice horses, a couple of really good chances. So finally be able to run a horse that's not 100 to 1. We've had some long price horses running lately, but anyway, hopefully a couple of these horses will go really well. I'm not sure if we'll run Ziggy on Saturday night, but I don't want to be, I don't want to overtax the horse, but he's just pulling up so well from his runs, so he'll get his chance. What else? Do you see the Geelong Racing Club's got a new CEO, Luke Rayner. I haven't met Luke yet, but all reports are he's a good fella, and he comes very well credentialed. So really keen to sort of sit down with Luke and have a talk about him and see what his vision for the Geelong Racing Club is. So that'll be good. What about at Ballarat the other day? There was 7 jockeys sitting in the car park waiting to get into the races, and they couldn't because of one jockey a couple of days ago had called past Shepparton to get something to eat on the way. So any jockey that was in the jockey's room up at Wangaratta the other day in Swan Hill couldn't ride. So I think they stood down 23 jockeys in one day while one other jockey got a test, and COVID test. So I don't know, maybe should all jockeys and trainers and stable hands be vaccinated? Probably should be, I suppose. Maybe something that Racing Victoria needs to bring in, that to be licensed to come onto a racecourse, we all need to be vaccinated. Perhaps that's something that will secure up the industry a little bit. Not sure, but smarter people than me will be looking into it. But this thing's a bit of a no-brainer for me. But anyway, until next week, see you later.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week's horse, a horse called Little Miss Gutsaa. 1 minute. time. I think she will learn how to relax a little bit more, and I'm cute.